Welcome back to my channel. My name is Ashley and I'm here to talk about books. So I've got my little Dunkin' here and I'm ready to chat with you guys about the year of 2025. So in today's video, we will be talking about the challenges that I participated in, how I did on them, and also what we have to look forward to in 2026. I also have some stats for you guys about my reading throughout the entirety of the year, kind of like how I do in my quarterly wrap-ups. Now, this was my very first year on BookTube and it was so exciting. I am having an absolute blast over here. This is exactly what I wanted out of my YouTube channel, so I'm really loving it. So first we will be getting into my stats for the entire year of 2025. Of course, as always, this video is timestamped so you can jump ahead if you don't like numbers. So let's go ahead and jump into the stats. So my goal for 2025 was 100 books and I read 91. Funny enough, I had 9 DNFs. So that would have been exactly 100, but if I read those 9 books, I probably wouldn't have read the other 91 and I would have been in the same position anyways. There's a reason why they were DNF'd. I read 25,703 pages. Here's my genre breakdown for the year. Some of these fit in multiple categories. Sometimes I have a hard time picking just one for a specific book. So some of these do fit in a couple of different categories, but this is the mood, the genre breakdown for the year. Horror and thriller being the 2 biggest categories because those are my favorite genres to read. We had 8 romance, 5 contemporary, 1 nonfiction, 9 magical realism, 5 dystopian, 1 cozy mystery, and 4 extreme horror. Here's the format that I read them in. 46 physical. I do utilize my library a lot, so that has a big part to do with it. But also the year prior, I was really reading on my Kindle a lot. So I think that's funny that my physical books was so high this year. And then 39 Kindle and 38 audiobook. Again, some fit multiple categories, meaning that I listened to the audiobook while I read the physical or the Kindle version. Here is my star rating breakdown. I have those 9 DNFs on here, which are not counting towards my overall. And then I do have 1 unrated book there at the end that was a nonfiction with like memoirs and stuff. I don't think that it's really necessary to rate them because it's somebody's story. So that one is unrated. But as far as everything else goes, everything gets a rating. And we've got 23 star books, 22 4-star books. So the fact that the 4-star rating is higher than the 3-star rating, I consider that a win in and of itself. And then we have 8 5-star reads. I found a lot of my favorites this year, and I'm very happy to say that. And then I did add an extra little stat onto here to cap off the year, and these are my most revisited authors. Obviously, Lucinda Berry is like at the top of the list because I was trying to read her backlist, so I had 7, followed by Laurel Hightower, who I discovered and fell in love with this year, and then Nat Cassidy, who I have been really enjoying picking up his books. I think there's only been 1 book that I've read from Nat Cassidy, which has been like a flop, but he did have one of my favorite audiobooks that I listened to this year, which was Mary. Which brings me to my next topic of discussion, which were the challenges that I had set out for myself this past year. So one of which being that I wanted to read Lucinda Berry's backlist. And I didn't finish her entire backlist because she is releasing books as we speak, but I did pretty dang good considering that all of these books that I checkmarked are now done. I only have these ones left. I do plan on getting to one of these books this month during Winterween, so I'll continue checking off her backlist this year. She does have this new book called Her First Lie coming out April 21st, a prequel to The Perfect Child. And then we also have the sequel, which is called A Welcome Reunion, that I haven't read yet. And so with these ones being on my list this year, I have a feeling I'm probably going to be rereading The Perfect Child, because it's actually been quite some time since I've read that one. Funny enough, it's actually the only one that I own from Lucinda Berry. I did do the Buzzword cover and title challenges, which proven to be really super fun. I love the prompts on these. I don't know what it is about like prompted reading that I'm just addicted to it. There were some that she set up perfectly where you could use like one book for both challenges. So there will be a couple repeats when I show you the next challenge. But this was the cover challenge, and these were all the books that I read for that. And then here was the title challenge. So yeah, there were a couple of repeats. I think like Shark Heart and In My Dreams I Hold a Knife. Most of you guys probably know that I participated in A to Z challenge. There were a couple extra prompts here at the bottom if you guys noticed. The A to Z challenge was very rewarding, but my God, was it much harder than I was expecting it to be. Like some of the letters that I really struggled with were Z, which I did 0 Days by Ruth Ware. Luckily, I found something. I did not think I was going to find something that would interest me. And then X, which I also ended up liking both of those books that I read. If I wasn't such like a picky reader and I really didn't try to hone in on what interests me and I just read what I could read, this would probably be easier. But I can't force myself to read books that I'm not interested in. Like, it's really hard and it will put me in a reading slump, so I completely avoid it. My plans for this year, 2026, I will be doing the Buzzword cover and title challenges again, so I'll go ahead and have those up here on the screen for you guys if you were interested. But also I'll link her website down below where she has like these downloadable PDFs, and then I'll also link her video of her explaining what all of these prompts mean. I do plan on continuing with my TBR jar videos. Those are something that I look forward to every single month. I love doing my TBR jar. It's probably one of my favorite things that has come out of BookTube. I do plan on participating in Winterween, Summerween, and Screaming Color again this year from Gabby Reads. She has announced Winterween so far. It's January 9th through the 15th. The theme is bloodbath or like vampires. So really looking forward to that. That is coming up next week and I'm so excited. I can't wait. I will be vlogging. I did order my t-shirt, but I think I may have ordered it a little bit too late because I don't know if it's going to show up on time. But if it does, that's a bonus. My last topic of conversation will be my video plans. I am planning on vlogging Winterween, as I said. I did just redo my bookshelf, which is here behind me. So you guys are getting like a little sneak peek of that. But I do have an entire video that I did where I, took it apart and cleaned everything. We built this bookshelf that Jazz got me for Christmas and I put everything back together. So I did do that. And I also went through my entire physical TBR, everything that I own, and told you guys what I have. So look forward to that video. If it's already out, I will have a time card on the screen for that. In February, I do have a couple of reading vlogs that I'm planning for Valentine's Day. I will be doing my first romance reading vlog, which is not something that I've done before on my channel, but I will be doing that next month. And then I do have another reading vlog that I'm planning that is more like a horror or thriller Valentine's Day one. So kind of ones that relate to love and Valentine's Day, but they're more like thrillers and horror books. We do have our first trip of 2026 coming up in March. We're going to Seattle. We are flying, so I figured it would be the perfect time to see if I could really freak myself out by reading Drowning by TJ Newman. It is here on my shelf behind me. When I read Falling and I went back and looked at reviews, people said that this is so freaky to read if you are like going to go on an airplane, if you're reading it at the airport, if you have a trip coming up. So I figured I will start off the Seattle vlog by reading an airplane thriller. My husband is going to hate that I'm reading that book on our Seattle trip because he watches a ton of like airplane crash videos. That's like his niche that he's interested in. And one of his biggest fears would be for a plane to crash in the water. So he's gonna be like, why would you do this to me? Why would you read this book next to me? So yeah, that is a wrap on 2025 and our plans for 2026 so far. I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know what your plans are down below and what books you really are looking forward to reading this year. Any new releases, backlist books, I want to know it all. So if you have comments like that, please leave them down below. I would love to know. As always, I hope that you guys have a fantastic rest of your day, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!